guys, hope you're well, and I also hope that this is working. So I'm just bringing it up on my computer because I am trying a different streaming service right before I haven't gone live in almost 2 months. So if you can see me, let me know, because I'm doing this on the cuff because I have never ever used this before. So hopefully it's working and you can all see me. I'm just making sure that I have gone live. So if you, hey Verity, obviously I am live, goodo. I used to use a program called StreamYard and it is crazy expensive now. So I decided, with moving and knowing that I wouldn't be going live as much while I was moving, that I would cancel that subscription because it was something like 70-ish Australian dollars a month, which was just crazy. So I'm trying something different and seeing if it works okay. So that means learning something new, which is always a bit scary. Hey Anita, hey Linda. So I'm hoping I'm live on both YouTube and Facebook. I think I am because I can see comments from both. So I thought I'd show my face. I don't usually do that. I've got my coffee. So I thought I would pop on live today and share. We'll say hello to begin with because I haven't been live on this page, I think, since just before I moved house. So if you're new, welcome. My name's Kayla and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Tasmania, in Australia. And I recently moved house. We moved about 45, 50-ish minutes away from where we were living. We sold our house and bought a new one just for a change of scenery and lots of different reasons. But it meant, yes, I know, Anita, I love my coffee cup. My friend Leanne, my good friend, she's like my craft mum, bought me this and a blue one in Stamping Lounge colours. So I've got my coffee handy and it's actually hot. I wouldn't call it hot, actually, I'd call it warm. And anyway, so moving meant a new craft room because this house is set up a bit differently. So I have a new craft room, which is actually, it has its pros and cons, I will give it that. It's actually in the middle of my new house, which means, well, this is the second living area. So what I thought I would do is show some recent projects that I've created that I haven't shared and give you a look at how I've set up my craft room. I was actually having a quick whiz around before I went live and realised I have a lot of empty cupboards and drawers in here. I don't know if that's a good thing. It means that I've really had a good de-stash or whether I just need to buy more to fill them up. So you'll have to let me know. I'm sure a lot of people would be like, are you serious? You've got spare room. But I did buy a lot of extra cupboards and things when I moved here. And I've always been a somewhat minimalistic person. So I tend to de-stash quite regularly. And so I don't keep a lot of stuff, which is the opposite of what I used to be like. When I had my son, which has been 11 years, which is crazy, I sort of went on the idea that I would not keep as much stuff because if you're new and you don't know this, I used to own a scrapbooking store. So I had a lot of stock. So it wasn't like Stamping Up where people would order out of a catalogue. I actually had the stock and I used to make monthly kits and all sorts of things. So I had a lot of stuff. And one thing I don't miss about that is doing stock take and having all those products. So this is really good in that sense, but it also means that I can keep a handle on what I have in here. So I have gone and moved to it's actually not a lot bigger, but a bigger room, more storage. So I'm going to flip to my desk. I'm going to close my laptop up because I don't need that now. I've checked that we're actually live, and I'll give you a look. Once I have shown you that, I'll give you a look at the room. Now, hopefully this is going to work. We're going to flip over and see. So hopefully you can see my desk here. I'm using different software, and I don't know about you, but I'm not, you think I think I'm a millennial. You think I'd understand a bit more about this software, but I really don't. And even if you are young, they change it so often. It's not even worth trying to keep up. So I'm just going to see. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a couple of the projects I've done recently because I realised I haven't really been on here creating and sharing, so I thought I would just share a couple of the things that I have done. I have taken photos of these, so I will put them up on my page. So I'll give you a look at these and then we'll jump into looking at the room. So I created these projects at a recent event called the Online Stamping Retreat, and I realized that I didn't put the link to this up. I don't know if I can share it in the chat, but I think I'll do it at the end. I'll pop the link in the video description at the end. This is I think they might do 3 or 4 a year. It's run by the Bertucci, so Kylie and Bruno Bertucci, as well as Lisa Curcio and Gina Hawley. And I always do them. They're a lot of fun to learn some new things. Hey Vicky, how are you? So I thought I'd share you the ones that I did, which I photographed and I'll pop on my page. They're all fun folds. So this one here is a bit of fun. It's got a ribbon that ties up, and I did use retired products. So something that hello Charlotte, you did stay up. Something that I'm doing a lot more of now is keeping retired product. So when I do cards, I'll often make one with retired product as well because I still love it. So I'm big on using up my retired things now, and quite often mixing it with the new as well. So this one here was using I think Flowering Zinnias or something it was called. I loved this paper and it looks beautiful with bright colours. This is with some lemon lime twist. This is such a cool card. Are you ready for it? How cool is that? It flips open like an origami. So this reminds me of the 90s, or it's actually probably pre-90s actually, when you made those chatterboxes at school. And it's really cool because you can just flip, it sort of just goes back and flips shut like this. How cool is that? And then there's a spot on the back to write. And I think there was a variation for one that was done using a belly band so that you didn't have to necessarily tie a bow each time you do it up. But that is how that one works. And this one was by Gina Hawley, which I'm pretty sure we're roughly the same age actually. Maybe she's a bit younger. And then I made a little envelope with some leftovers. I'm big on making my envelopes. I love it. So I had leftover paper, made this one with a punch board. So that was that card. Now this one was a bit different. This one was by Lisa. And I forget what it was called. Maybe a rolling top card or something. So it's a 5x7 and it's got lots of score lines there, and you actually, to display it, pop that in and it displays like that. So you've got a rolling top, and this is using the Impressions Bloom, I believe, which I've used this one tons. I love it. So that was a 5x7 card, made a fun envelope, which, by the way, if you haven't seen, the two-tone cardstock is on sale at the moment for 20% off. And one thing I'll say about two-tone cardstock is it's really good for making envelopes. Hey Kerry, this one here was the class I did with Kylie Bertucci. She made this really cool card. Now I love Secret Sea and card cover together. They are the two of the new in colours, and they're stunning together. So this one uses the Beautiful Gallery Suite, I believe it's called. This one's another great fun fold. It is quite thick, so although this would probably fit in a standard envelope, I would probably make an envelope anyway, which I did. What's Vicky saying? I think at the moment with the financial state of the world, we need to lose, or do you mean use retired product? Because I totally agree. I'm actually I'm not getting rid of my retired product as much anymore. I'm just keeping it and continuing to use it. So I'm big on that. So this one folds out like this, and this is really cool. So this one here, you actually, I haven't had them out for a while, so now I've got to remember. So you push this and it actually flips like this. So those pages flip. How cool is that? And then you can get back to the start and you can just pull them all shut. So I'll just do it slowly so you can see. I used some really cool sentiments. I believe that these were from something frames, like sentimental frames or something like that. So I really liked the flow of the messages. So I put what's the front one? I'm so grateful to have you in my life. And then I went from last to tears. Our friendship is full of memories I treasure the most. I'm happy we've shared them together. You make my day that much brighter and my love for you that much stronger. You make everything feel all right. So I thought that was really cool to give to a friend. I've got lots of friends that I would say those things to. So you've got to learn kind of how to do that. So then that one just does up and you can tie the bow shut. So that's another one you could do with a belly band. Hey Rochelle, I totally agree, Vicky. We definitely need to use more of our stash. So I'm just gonna do that. I probably could save you watching me tie bows and do this later. So yep, that's a cool one. Did a matching cloud cover and Secretly envelope and added some designer series paper on the back. Then this one was super fun. This was with Bruno. He always does next level cards. So this, once again, I don't know if this is retired or not, but I didn't care. I made these cards with anything I had in my stash. So this one uses the sketch butterflies. If it's not retired, I think it might be on the last chance. And this is beautiful paper that I think was like Everyday Skies, or maybe that was the bundle it coordinated with. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And it has, this one's like a kind of a mini album, and it has a little card on the back that you can write a message. I am loving Blueberry Bushel at the moment. It's a go-to colour at the moment for me. I just made a card last night using Blueberry Bushel as well. So this one's got the iridescent trim. And then we open up. Now I do have a stamp set. I've had a couple of people ask me where these are from. So if I've got an interactive card and it says like pull or slide or anything, I do have a set that I use for that. I don't know if I have it 100% on me. I might find it when I'm showing you my room. Okay, so this one you open up, there's some cute birthday messages, and the cool thing about this card is you actually slide it out. So all of these pages just slide. How cool is that? And then you can slide them back in. Now this is easier to make than you think. It's actually really cool. So I've done my little butterflies, which I thought looked really cool with the sliding scene. It was a lot of fun. It's really weird. I'm getting messages now that all flow in at once, so I don't think my streaming software is showing me them all at the same time. Hey Sonia from Canada, what time is it there? So yes, then you can just slide it all shut again, and it goes in like that. So this would be cool to add with photos or just a really special card. I know my sister is turning 30 soon. I have a card in mind, but these sort of cards are really, they're more like a gift, I think. So then that one has quite a beautiful bow with this iridescent ribbon. And then I've made, this would probably be better to put in a box, I think. But I did make a sort of a 6x6 size envelope, and this is using the two tones. So that's the cardstock that's on special at the moment, but it's a really good weight for cards. So then I did this one. I believe that this is retiring or retired. This was with Gina and Lisa did a card together. So I used their Ocean Friends, and this card's really quite cool. So these pop out. It takes a bit of a knack to get used to, but these pop out like this. The card's actually meant to sit like this, and then you've got the little circles there that have got all those details. So I did gold embossing and then a bit of two-toned stamping. Which paper have you had trouble using, Rochelle? And then on the back you've got another bit of paper and then a half that you can add your writing on. And then I used up the DSP to make an envelope for that one as well. So I store, actually I will show you how I store my cards, because it's next to my craft room that I have a little card shop. I won't really call it that, I don't sell my cards, but my family quite often come and I store them in little plastic bags with their envelopes. So this is the other one that I made. So I think this was my version of Lisa's. I don't think Lisa used the celebratory sips, but I love this suite. So we recently had a suite sale last month and I got more of this paper because I think it's really pretty. And then this was like, so I cut all my pieces before the online stamping retreat and I was like, holy smokes, look at all this. It's really in your face, isn't it? But I quite like it. It's very tropical looking with those drinks. And then on the back, I added a bit more room to write. So I had a big sending session of cards the other day, and I sent some to Canada, although I had this afterthought that the Canada Post is on strike, so I don't know. Don't know if they'll get there very soon, but I did send a lot of cards the other day because I make a lot, but I haven't been sending a lot. So I put a post up the other day about getting your cards in the mail, and I did the same. So this one was, oh gosh, hey Sue, how are you? I have to apologise if I've missed your message. This thing is looking a bit weird as far as receiving messages. So this one's the Boho Vibes. It's current in the annual catalogue at the moment. And this was a Bruno card. So I made mine using this really boho collection. This one is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I need to make this actually folds out to be 12 by 12. So that's why it's going to be a bit hard to show on screen. So this one you fold out again. And then lastly, you fold this one out. So it actually ends up being a whole 12 by 12. But when you've got it folded together, it's 6 by 6. So I used some of the boho paper, and then you just fold it back like this, and it all sort of twists back together. So I thought I'd have fun using that suite because I hadn't actually used it yet. And then once again, two-tone cardstock, and made a little envelope with some of the leftover rainbow dies to go with that one. And then lastly, this was the Kylie version of that one. So I did this one using the Impression A Bloom, I think it's called. Love these dies. These flower dies are so pretty. And this would have to be my favourite pattern of that designer series paper. So this one folds out like this. I think I used the sentiments from the set. So let me fold out again. And this is a nice mixture of the garden green and old olive, and a great way to use the two-tone as well. So got flowers everywhere. It's like a whole flower patch on this card. So that one was cool. And then I used the oval die with a bit of gold for somewhere to write. So that's a fun one to do as well. And then this one's the old olive two-toned cardstock, which I just added a little bit of stamping down the bottom. So that, now I've got to put them all back now. They were my projects from the online stamping retreat. So I have photographed them all. I will share some closer up pictures before I put them away. And now my goal is to get some in the post. You'll see why. When I show you my card cupboard, you'll see why I have to learn to post more cards, because I tend to hang on to them for a bit too long. I know I had a bit of a blast in the past the other day when I was looking through cards, and I found some seriously old cards with old collections. So it's all about sending that happy mail. And if you enjoy making the card, I'm sure someone will enjoy receiving the card. So that's my big stash of those. Time to take a sip of my coffee, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to switch the camera around and show you my room. So I'm just going to put my glass mat back. I know the reason I also wanted to do this video showing my room is because I've had a lot of questions about some of the things I have in my room. So I thought it would be easier just to go live and show you. So when I do this, it means I'm not going to be able to necessarily see comments. So I do apologize, and I'm probably going to make you sick. Hold on. I'm just going to turn this around. And hopefully you will be able to see. So hopefully that's the right way. Be sure to add your new address. Oh, good point, Charlotte. I've had a few people ask for my address, so I might put it up later because I have a post office box now. So I have to say, I'm going to show you my favourite part of the room. So I have had these for ages. Hopefully you can see them. These are watercolour prints that I have. Someone we know makes these beautiful watercoloured prints, and you just have to send a photo of your dog. You can even have people done. If anyone wants this and they're in Tasmania or Australia, let me know and I can send you her details. But these are my puppies. So this beagle here is Louie, and then we've got Bella, and then up the top, that is Loki and Thor. So that is like a special part of my room where I've added something a little bit special. So when you walk into my room, this is my main desk. So, wow, I'm really far away. So hopefully you can hear me okay. So this is my main desk that I mainly work on. And I've put some pegboards, which I have to say were inspired by Emma Goddard. I saw ages ago that she had pegboards. They're really handy. So I'll go a little bit closer up. So these are from IKEA. And I've added all my blending brushes on there. So I did have them in those little Stampin' Up blending brush storage things. But now I find it easier just to grab them off the pegboard. So I've got my blending brushes as well as my scissors and my tapes. I've got a little pot of dimensionals. Just the things that I grab the most of are up here. So they're easy to grab. I've got my My Ready reference, which is the one before they've just been updated, and my colour wheel, and I've got a couple bits and bobs that I keep up here. And then of course I've got my lights and my ink pads, my blends, just the bits I go to the most. And then you do not want to see in my drawer under my desk. That's what I call a catch-all. It's where all the messy stuff goes. So anyway, I do have my houndstooth chair. I do love my houndstooth chair. It looks impractical, but it's actually really comfortable. So that's an IKEA job, and I call it my catalogue reading chair. You need somewhere comfortable to read the new catalogue. So these ones here I have beside my chair. This is how I store my stamp sets. So this is a piece of IKEA furniture that I believe is designed for DVDs, so perfect for our Stampin' Up stamps. These are all alphabetized, which I have to thank my mum for. She alphabetized all my stamps. And as I was saying when I showed the cards before, I actually don't really get rid of anything anymore. So I've got a little bit of space left, so we'll see how long that lasts for. And then if I turn around, I probably should go backwards. I'm really trying my best not to do it too fast because I don't want to make you sick. So this is two of the Alex desks from IKEA again, but if I come out of the room, they're actually joined, so I have enough space to have people craft, or if I'm laying out lots of projects, if I've got an event and I need to have lots of things laid out, I do have a double desk in the middle of the room. And then I have a cute chair. This is a cute chair. I loved it when I saw it, but I don't think it would be practical to sit in for a long crafting session. I do love it though. This is kind of my favourite colour. So then up here, this is what I've had a lot of questions about. So these are the Kallax cubes from IKEA. The inserts, however, are from a person in Sydney, and I'm going to put the link up. I sent it to a few people that have asked, that have seen my room. They are made by a person called Mark, and on Facebook you can find him as Wood Creations by Mark P, but I will put a link up to that. They do come only in MDF, so I did spray paint mine white. So in here I have all of my 12x12 or two-toned cardstock. So I've had fun stocking up on that in the last couple of days in the sale, because I don't have every colour, even though it may look like it. This is another favourite in my room. I love my vintage typewriter, and yes, I actually do use it occasionally if I'm doing memory keeping or something like that. This is the only living plant I have in here because, you know, I don't want to have too much to care for in here. I do have some plants that I actually made with paper. That was a bit more fun. And then I've got my collection of just mementos up here. I have my pin board, and I have just some projects that I've made. These ones are all by Wood Creations by Mark P as well. So I've got the mixture of the A4 with the 12x12 on top, as well as just the 12x12. So in here I keep all of my A4, but I also have my collections that are 12x12. Now I keep these in a record sleeve, And I just keep my scraps in there as well. And if I have full packs unopened, I put it underneath. So they are all up there. And then along here, I have my Big Shot machine. Oh, see, I still call it a Big Shot. Stamping, Cut and Emboss. So in the drawers, can't show you this one because that's some sneaky peekies of upcoming projects for the Stamping Lounge. And then I just have a few things. This is my envelope drawer. I think you'll see how many are unopened. Then I have my backup adhesives. I almost need a whole one just for Tombow glue. Photos, look at this cutie. They grow up so quick. So this is my things I want to scrapbook drawer. These are retired embellishments that I have backup packets of. And I will say I cannot see your comments at the moment, so I'm sorry if you have comments, I'll answer them after. So empty. Wow, that's a good use of a drawer. I think this is empty. So I've still got to find things to fit in these. This is my backup stamping blend. So any that I've got double up packs of in case they run out. Empty. This is punches. I'm not entirely thrilled with this setup. I want to do something else with my punches. I just haven't decided what yet. This is my, does anyone remember these? This is the gift box punch board and an envelope punch board. I use my envelope punch board heaps, so I have that one sitting there. This is all of my mix and match. So I've got those in. I love these envelopes. They're just off Amazon. They look like this with a Velcro closure. So I have those with my ephemera empty. And then this is my ribbon. So I did used to have my ribbon on a ribbon holder, but now I just have it in some drawers. I think the bottom is a bit of a backup situation. And then this one, I have all my dies, but they're all alphabetized. So I've got them in alphabetized sections. I want to get a bigger container. I just haven't decided what yet. So I've got all of them just in there. And then that one's dies as well. And then I've got my embossing folders in there. So I do want to change the containers. I just haven't 100% decided what to put them in yet. Empty. You guys are going to be amazed. I don't have heaps of stuff. I really had a good clean out. That's just some colour cubes and some watercolour paper. So going around to the middle, I just have a couple of different cupboards. So this one has like my specialty paper, my scoreboard, my big guillotine. And then over here, I think this is all empty, apart from this drawer, which is the wax seal collection. So I've got my warmer, all my different wax beads and the wax seal stamps. I think I actually also have some old trimmers down there as well. So that is what is on that side. I'm just having a look at your comments. Where did you get the stamp holder from, please? Sue, do you mean this one over here? So then in this side, this one's handy because it's right behind where I craft. I have a storage container. This is from Kmart, and I keep all of my embellishments in this one. And on here, I just write the matching colours that go along with that. You can see I'm getting a FaceTime call, so hopefully it's not interrupting. And then beside this, I keep all my 6x6 paper packs. So I just pull one out. I just keep them in a 6x6 paper sleeve. Sue, that is from IKEA. I think it's called a Gnedby or something, but I'll have to pop a link up. Now this one here, I don't think you can get these containers anymore, which is such a shame because they're such a good size. But they're designed, you can actually fit 12 by 12 paper in them. They were from IKEA, but I keep all my scraps. So I've got one for each colour, and I just pop them in this container and they go down there. So I always check my scrap bins before I go to my full sheets. Then on this side, I have a few bits and bobs. This is all my like, you know, all those boring office supplies like permanent markers and hole punches and things like that. That's what that drawer is. And this one's like entirely my business cards and things like that. So that one's in there. So pop in like a stamping lounge card or whatnot. Then down a bit further, this is my Misties or my Stamparatus platforms, things like that. And then this one's all of my cutting, like die cutting supplies. So that's all in that drawer, like spare plates and things like that. And this is my stamping scrub and my stamping chamois, or anything cleaning is in this drawer. Got to have a drawer full of cleaning. Okay, so the drawers that are right beside, like on my main desk, are the ones where I keep all of the main things. So in this drawer here, I've got my mint tape. So I use this when I'm holding my dies in place. I'm just getting a message. My partner's saying someone's coming to look at the solar panels. I'm like, great timing. So these are all my random stamps that aren't stamping up that I use. And then I've got my enamel effects, glitters, twines, any of these embellishments that come in these little things. So that's all what I keep in that drawer. This drawer is all of my bigger scissors, my extra trimmer blades, little bits and pieces, rulers, things like that. Now this one, I used the old wooden stamp cases, and I have labelled them with what is inside. So lots of different things are in here, like my sandpaper, my watercolour pencils, my foam sheets, lots of backup Wink Castellas because you can never have enough of those. So this all pulls out, and there's all of my re-inkers and things like that are also in the back there. So I have everything stored like that so I can easily find it. And then I've got my Fluid 100, and I have to label these ones as well, but same sort of thing. I've got lots of backup things in there. And then, oh look, another empty drawer. See, I've got to buy more things. I don't have enough things. Then this one is my embossing drawer. So I've got all my embossing trays. I love to emboss. So this one is right beside me. Got all my tools, my embossing powders, my Versamark, all of that. And then this one's my blocks and my daubers. So I keep my daubers like this in one of these caddies, and they're easily identifiable. I do have that printout available on the stamping lounge if you remember. You can easily get the printout. These are all my blocks. Plus I have some scraps with my little samples for the colours, with my ink pads. This one is my spare markers. They're my old markers, and I've got a little guillotine there, as well as my plastic bags that I put my cards in. So that one's easily accessible. And I think that's my little Cricut. And then the bottom drawer is empty. So that is my entire room. I really don't have a lot of stuff. But what I will show you quickly is where I keep my cards, because I just recently sorted it out. So this is the con to my room, I will have to say. So when I do videos, if the boys are walking, you will see them, because my room is like open. It has no door, and it doesn't have anything to attach a door to. I could do something long term, but it does mean that there's no noise barrier, or you can also see them, and you can see the dogs running up the house. So that is the downside. So we have a lot of cupboards in our new house. So I did take a cupboard, and this one here is beside my craft room. It's got a lot of space in it, but what I have done is these bins that I keep my scraps in, I actually have all of my cards organised now. So they have a little envelope, and they're in a little baggie. So if my family, or if I need a card, I just come to the right bin. So I've got, like, you know, Christmas, friends, love, birthday, and you go down a bit further and there's different categories, and I've got, the bigger ones have different bins because they don't fit. So I've got all my fun fold cards and whatnot in there as well. So I do need to move a few things probably down here into this cupboard, because I've got business supplies like pizza boxes and envelopes and things like that. But yeah, that's it, guys. It's really clean and simple. I think I want a little bit more colour or character over there somewhere. But other than that, that is it. The boys are usually close by. I'll get them to say hello. Boys, come here. They're going to come say hello. Yes, so if they decide to carry on and make lots of noise, you can always hear them because they're always here, aren't you? You've got your room also. Oh, thank you. Where'd you get those bents through? They're from Kmart, but I don't think they have them anymore, unfortunately. Thor's going to be, he's going to talk to you. What are you doing? He's making his seal noises. Yeah, so thanks for coming on, and I thought I'd do a quick live and show you what's what. And now that was good timing because I now have a visitor. So I'll catch you all soon. Thanks for coming on and checking it all out with me. And I will talk to you all soon. I'm really sorry I